So, good evening, everyone, and hello. Here we are in the 5th session today of the dotNET Labs, and this last project that's basically going to build it from scratch to server side and client side, the API with ASP.NET Core, and the client side with Blazor WebAssembly. Today we are in the 5th session of that. Until this moment, we have implemented a lot of cool things. We have created the database, implemented the structure of the project, implemented the authentication system using ASP.NET Identity, and we have implemented the login, the register. We have implemented the playlist service. So right now we can create, update, remove, and get all the playlists. So everything just working fine right now. In the today's session, we will start moving to something else, which is basically the moving to the videos section, starting implementing with the videos, and just do the same for what we have done here, which is create, update the video, remove a video, get a list of videos, and add a video to playlists and such an operations. So this is what we are going to get started with in this session. And again, thank you so much for joining us. I think right now we have about 9 people are watching and following with us. So this is a good number to continue. So if there is any question from the previous session, if you attended the part 4, you can just basically post it while we are just waiting for other people to come and join. And if not, we can just go ahead and directly get started with the videos, repositories, and the services. Hi, Nama. Yeah, that's nice. So it looks like there is no questions from the previous video. So we will go ahead and get started with that. Before we proceed, let's go and to the models project, and let's open the videos, the video business model, and let's see what we have here. Basically, the video consists of the ID created by, modified by, created on, and modified on. They are existing here in the user record. And we have the main properties of the video is basically the title, description, video URL, and here we have the thumb URL. So basically, this is a file we want to upload, and then we can mention the URL here for this file. And we have the number of views, which will be initialized by default to 0. We have the number of likes, and then the publishing date. There is a category, and there is a to set the privacy of the video. And after that, what we need to do is basically we can assign the video to playlists. We can retrieve the comments. Comments is are going to be a different part, and we will deal with the tags. So for today's video, we will prepare the repository of that. We will prepare the service, the DTO, and the mapping between those objects, and then we will start first by creating a new video. Creating a new video will implement also uploading a file for this thumb URL that you can see here. Then we can mention that in or the URL of the image uploaded within the thumb URL. So basically, to get started with that, before we proceed or do anything, let's go ahead to the shared project and just create that data transfer object. So I will go ahead and right-click here. I'll click on class, add a new class in the shared project, and I'll call this class. So basically, it's going to be called the video detail, just like that. And let's mark it as public. So here we have, let's set all the properties here. We have the string, we have the title. You can use a prop, double tap. Let's set the description. And yeah, I think we can copy this. Description, video URL, thumb URL, views, likes, publishing data, categories, and just like this. So this is great. And yeah, so let's add those here. And I'm gonna bring this one. So in the creation, I think we need that. So just like this. So right now we have this one. But for those, for the time being, I'm gonna comment this. We are not going to use that. And for the tags, in the database, we have a table called tag. So this is why we have an entity here in the models called tag. But if we go to this tag, go to definition. So as you can see, the tag is only a name and the video related to it. So basically in the view detail, or what we need from those tags from the client side, and what we need to send and receive back and do from the client is basically just a string. So they are going to be just like that. A list of string. Maybe you can make it, or yeah, just like that. I will comment this for now. We will do this in a later video. So this is basically the video, all the stuff and the property that you need to upload or retrieve a video. This is the data transfer object. It's pretty similar to the video one, but here we still have a set of property that basically we don't care about. So if you look at that. So another property which is very important, which is basically the thumb URL. What I need to do when I send from the client to the server, I don't send the URL. So basically what I send is I send a file. So I upload a file, and that file on the server being stored somewhere, and then we take that URL and put it here in the thumb URL. So this is why it's not required, and it's not string length as well, because this one will be used only for sending the video or retrieving the video from the server, sending it back to the client. But from when we submit a video or we want to edit that, actually we won't use this property. What we are going to use is basically a property called public iForm file. So if we try to add a reference for this one, you see we need to install a package called Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.HTTP.Features. And this one basically represents as a file. So we can submit that file from the form. This is what we are going to see in a moment. And then after that, we save that file, as I've said, somewhere, and then we put the URL here. So this one, I'm going to call it thumb file, just like this. And this property will be used to submit video from a client to server. Okay, this one will be only from server to client, just like this. So basically, for now, this is the data transfer object that you need. And right now, we can go ahead and after we finish from this, let's go back to the repositories and start creating the repositories of the videos. So I will add new class, or basically, let's say it's going to be an interface. I will call it iVideos. Repository. Make it public. And I can go ahead to the playlist, for example, and I can copy this because they are going to be somehow the same. For this case, maybe we need more things for the video, for the search and this stuff, but video, okay. Okay. And this one will be just like that. So this one is pretty simple, at least for now. There's going to be more functions will be added later, but let's go ahead. And also, I think we can copy even the implementation because it's exactly the same. So I'll put that here. And then I will call it videos repository, just like that. Let's add reference for this library. Let's rename the constructor. And let's implement iVideos repository instead of iPlaylists. And then we can just do like that. Okay, take this. And here it's going to be videos, video. And it's going to be videos, videos. Okay, this one. Okay. So that was pretty fast because just a copy-paste process. There is other things that we will add here, as I said, but later. Right now, let's basically go ahead and create another repository, but this time it's going to be for the there is no need. It's going to be added by default when we call the create async. I mean the repository for the tags, but we are going to initialize this in the service, and then it's going to be added automatically here. So I will move this to another file. I'll do the same for the playlists here. So I have everything separated, especially if you check this on the GitHub, so you don't get lost with all the files existing here with the naming, different naming. Okay, I think right now they are just isolated, so that's great. Now we have the repository created. Let's go ahead to the iUnit of work and add the iVideos repository. Let's call it videos and call this get here, basically. So that's great. And right now for the iPlaylists, entity framework unit of work, I'm gonna copy this, place it here. So let's click Ctrl-H to replace. I will replace playlists. Okay, videos. Okay, and I will replace playlists with videos. Oh, look at that. So it's here ready as well. And it's just great. Now we have everything related for the data access layers ready for us. Now I think we are ready to move to that other level, which is basically the services. And right now we can go ahead and let's create new class, or basically as usual, it's an interface, and I'll call it iVideo service. This one, public, and this is the implementation that should be existing here. So I'll call it videos service, and it implements iVideo service. So that's nice. Now what we have to do is basically, again, we have a set of code that could be copied from the playlist service, and let's do that. So I'll take this and I'll put it here. Add all the libraries we have. Okay. But instead of playlist detail, I think playlist detail is going to be video detail. And click Ctrl-H to show this the replace pop-up here. That helps you in your copy-paste process. And we have get all videos. And as I've said, there's going to be other set of functions that will be added to the videos services. So for now, the most important function that I'm going to start with is basically the create. And the create this time, it has a file. So we need to manage that. So basically, I will click here, implement all the services. So that's nice. Now I have all the services here. Let's also go ahead to this one. Yeah, and I'll copy this because I'm going to use the same services. That. Name this one. So I have the unit of work, I have the identity options, and I have I have all the functions available for the video service over here. So I will leave all of them not implemented, but we're going to get started with the create async. But before we go ahead and get started with the get async, we have the create async, we have two important concepts. The first one is the mapping of the object between the view detail and the video detail and the video object, the video business model object, and the vice versa, like from video to video detail. Another thing which is very important, which is basically creating or saving the file that will be the thumbnail of the image. Sorry, the thumbnail of the video, it will be an image. So basically, I'm gonna create another service. This service will save the file and read it, and it will allow me to delete that file. And then we are going to inject that here. So we will use that in the create and in the update and also in the remove when you want to remove that file. And regarding the mapping of the object, you have seen here how I've used the extension method here. You can see it like in the code here. Yeah, to playlist detail, I have created the extension method, and basically this one was taking transforming any playlist object to playlist detail object. But this time I've said like we are going to use automapper. So in this case, you have multiple ways to implement the same task. So you can choose the one that you prefer. So right now, let's start first with the storage service. I'm going to add it here in the services. Let's go ahead and add a new class. Maybe we can put it in another folder. Let's call it utilities. Like that. And then I'm gonna add new class or interface. I'll call it iFiles storage service. Let's make it public. And it will do the following. Basically, string, it's gonna return the name of the file, and I will call it save file async. We'll take iForm file, form file, and it will take folder name. This is the first function, and the second one will basically going to be remove file, and here we just pass the file path like this. This one is a pretty easy and basic service. So let's create the implementation for that. Files, or I will call it local files storage service. Files storage service. So great. Now I have these two methods over here, one to save and one to remove. But why I've called it local? Because basically dealing with the files is not only putting the file on physically on your machine or the machine that's basically hosted your web application. Maybe you are using the Azure Blob Storage. Maybe you are using some services on the AWS, and maybe as well you are just basically storing those files on OneDrive or Dropbox or any other service. But in our case, we are going to store all those files basically here on the server in the www root folder. We are just going to create that. So yeah, it's not here. So let's go ahead and create this folder, call it the www root. So basically, this is the place where you store usually all the static files of your project. And here we are going to store our files. I will create a new folder. Let's call it uploads. And within this folder, we are going to store all the basically all the thumbnails of the videos. So this service will store and remove files from this local one, or basically this implementation, let's say. Maybe you can create another one for Azure Blob Storage and other things. So let's implement first the save file async. And to do that, first of all, we have this iForm file. So I'm going to check first if this file is, I will pass here another parameter, which is called required or not. Let's do that. Or so maybe you can implement validation, or we can ignore that. So let's start here by first getting the root, the directory of the uploads folder. So string root directory equals system or directory. We need to add using system.io, then .get foreign directory, just like that. And it's going to be path.combine. We need to combine the root directory with the www root folder, just like this. So this is the root directory where the file will be stored. And also, we are going to concatenate that maybe with the folder name as well. Yeah, there is no need to create another variable. So I'll call it file directory, just like that. So this is the directory. Right now, the second thing that we need to do is basically to check the name of the file and check the extension as well. So what we are going to upload is basically the thumbnail for the video. So the file should be a JPG or PNG only. We don't allow any other type of extensions. So we need to get the extension and to check it if it's a valid image or no. So I will say iForm file dot. Sorry, we can use path dot get extension form file dot file name, just like that. Now we will check the allowed extensions if this one is an allowed extension or no. And to do that, I will create a new variable here called allowed extensions. It's going to be an array of string that contains all the allowed extensions for our file. In this case, it's an image, so those are the allowed ones. But maybe if you are uploading a document in your project or something else, you can use the PDF, TXT, whatever extensions you want. Or maybe the image is going to be a bitmap. So now I will say if not allowed extensions dot contains extension. Okay, so as you can see, this one say like if those allowed extensions doesn't include the extension of the file here, then in this case, what you have to do is basically just throw a new bad image format exception. This is an image existing here, a set of exceptions that basically show that this is not a correct format for the image. Other than that, let's proceed with the process. After we have checked the extension and it's just a valid image file, what we need to do, we can check the size, but we'll ignore that for now because basically the image, they are not going to be that hard. But what we are going to do is to create a new file name. We are not going to store the file with its raw file name because maybe one of the users uploaded a file called 1.jpg and another one uploaded the same file name, like called 1.jpg, and it's a different image. So in this case, it's going to override that file. So what we need to do is basically create our own file name, and it's going to be just a global unique identifier. So I'll say var new file name, and it's going to be equal to file directory, sorry, like that, DOID or global unique identifier, new DOID, toString, there is no toString, and then we will concatenate that with the extension file. So this is the new file name we need, just like this. Now, what we have to do is basically take the file and put it in the destination folder. So I'm going to use or create a file stream. I'll type file stream equals new file stream. And this one, we will have basically, first we need to set the name or the path of the file. I'll type path.combine. We will combine the file directory with the new file name. So right now I have the full path of the www root uploads, or maybe other folder name, then the new file name that we have or just generated. And then after that, let's set the file mode dot create, because we are creating a new one. And for the file access, we need the right permission. Just like this. So look at that. Right now, here we have this file stream just working properly. So what we can do right now is call await, because yeah, let's mark this one as async. So await form file, this one, dot, there is a function called copy to async. This one copied the file from the temporary location, which the file was going to be for a temporary period when you first upload the file to the server, and then we can copy it to our new file stream. So it's going to be just like that. Do this, and basically that's it. So right now we can just return the path of this file, which is basically the folder name slash new file name. This is what we are going to store on the database, just the folder name and slash the new file name, because basically in the www root folder, the folder that you have here, when you want to access a file, like for example, you will have the URL like this, for example, slash uploads slash blah 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 dot jpg. So this is how you can access this. This is what we are going to store in the database, and for this one, we can fetch it from the environment itself. So this is the save file async. If you have any question about that, or there is anything not clear with this, you can basically post your comment before we proceed with the remove, and then go back to the create video async. So yeah, you can just take a look and let me know if there is any question for that. So yeah, we got a question from Saudi David, why you are mixing the interface and its implementation in the same file. Oh, basically, we are not, I'm not mixing them, but just for easy access, when I'm done from this, you can see that I can click here and say move type to local file.storage. This is what I'm going to do, but I prefer to do this after I finish, because if I want to add anything here, I don't switch between the files. And we have another one. Can we use iForm file even for PDFs or other type of files? Yes, of course, you can use the iForm file for any file you want to upload from the client to the server, whatever it is. You can basically just go ahead and do that. Will you create a folder for each user to save his files in, or is a general location? Basically, you can do that, but I'm gonna put all of them in one place, because for this project, like the administrations, basically for this online platform, they are going to be one. So the files are not user specific. It's a platform specific. So the thumbnail is for the platform and not only for a specific user. So this is why I put them here, but you can put them in any folder you want. Like you can pass the username if you want, and just create a new folder for him here, and that's it. So any other questions? Okay, so that's perfect. Right now, let's go ahead and move to remove a file. And basically, this one is pretty simple. What we can do is basically, let's take this one. I have the file path coming from the database, like upload slash my file name. And what basically I can do, let me remove this one and make it file path. So it's going to be the full path on the server, the physical path slash upload slash blah blah blah, the name of the file. And basically, I can call file dot delete, and I'll call this one full path. Delete full path. So it is just like that. Right now, I can move this one to another folder, just like this. Let's save that. That's great. So I have a new utility right now. I can use this one in any other place. For this demo, it's going to be used only for videos, but maybe in other projects, of course, files are a very crucial part for every project. So you are going to use them in multiple places. So this is why you can have this service. Let's go to startup.cs, and here in the configure service, let's click Ctrl D, and I'll type I files storage service. Local file storage service. So I have the service existing here. Let's also inject the iVideo service. So you can just simply inject that and use it wherever you want. So this is what I'm going to do right now. I files storage service, storage, storage, and okay, that's great. Now we can proceed with this create one. And yeah, we need, we remember that we need to implement the let's say the automapper, but I'm going to do that in the response or when in the get all videos. For now, let's go ahead and get started with this one. First, let's check if there is any video that had the same name. So what I'm gonna do, check, I'll type here validation or similar video equals unit of work dot videos dot get. I have get all, I have get by ID, and here I need to add a new function. And that function, I'm gonna call it video and make it task video get by name async string name. So let's go ahead to the implementation. Go to implementation. I will click on this one, say implement interface. That's nice. I have this get by name async. Let's make it async here. So return await db.videos.single or default async, add Microsoft.NT Framework Core video.name or title equals name. And I think I should rename this one from name to title. Click Ctrl R, title, and also the name of the function is going to be get by title instead of name. So this is great. Now, if I go to this one, I have this nice function existing here called get by. Sorry for that. Let's go to this repository over here. Go to definition. Okay. Get by title, and let's pass model title to this one. I'll type if similar video not equals to null. Then I'm going to return a new. There should be an async here. Success roles and message will be equals another video for failed. Create the video. Another one had the same name, or the same title, sorry. So this is the first validation that we have. Right now, let's check for the image, because each video has to have a thumbnail. So let's do that by using the storage. I'm going to put it in a try catch, add image format exception. So what I'm going to do, get a variable here called image or thumb URL equals string dot empty. That's great. And then I have, storage dot save file async model dot dump file, and the folder name called uploads. It is that simple. And yeah, here also we forgot to model dot dump file. If it's equals to null, then in this case we should return also another error. This error will be called dump image is required. So this is cool. Now let's put the value in this one like this, and here we will return please upload a valid image file. Just like that. So look at this. This is pretty simple and pretty easy to understand, just like a very clear validation messages here at the beginning, then upload the file, and right now everything like supposed to be working perfectly. What we can do is basically just save the video. So I'll create the new business object or video, and let's set the values. Category equals model dot category. We'll get back to the comments. We have the description, model dot description. Likes by default equals to 0. Views by default equals to 0. And then we have ID will be populated automatically. The privacy, model dot privacy. We have the thumb URL equals to the thumb URL we have. And in addition for that, we have the title, model dot title. And also we have the video URL, and here we have to insert the tags. So basically, we receive the tags from the user as a list of string. We need to translate that tag to a list of tags, like a valid business model object of type tag. So I'll type tags equals model dot tags. Let's add this question mark here in case tags is null, because they are not required. I'll type dot select function to convert that string into, as I've said, valid tag object. I'll type t, return a new tag out of string dot toList, should be a list. And we have the ID populated automatically, and the name just equals to the t, and the video equals to the current video we are in. So this is basically the video object that we are going to store in the database. As you can see, this is a pretty simple process. Now we can say await unit of work dot videos dot create async video await unit of work dot commit changes async. And as you know, it takes the user ID just to identify who's doing this process. We can type identity dot user ID, just like that. And at the end, we can return new success equals true. Message video has been created successfully. And at the end, the data is going to be the same model sent from the client, but there's going to be some changes. Those changes are going to be, first, we need to set the ID, because right now it has been created and the video has an ID. .id. And here we have to set the, sorry, we forgot about the publishing date here. Important property. Publishing date. And just like that. So we can set the thumb file equals to null. And also you can set that JSON ignore for this property, so it wouldn't be sent back to the client by when the JSON response goes to the client. And there's going to be another important thing, which is basically the, here we have got the thumb URL, but when we return this back to the client, we're not going to return only upload slash blah blah blah. We need to retrieve the full URL of the API concatenated with that ID. So to do that, we need to bring the URL of the current application. So we have multiple ways to do this. Either we can use the iEnvironment object. I'm not sure about this. Basically, I haven't used it before because I usually in my projects, I put the URL in the app settings.json and I just send it back to the client. But yeah, let's try to do that here. Private, read only, iEnvironment. Okay, I forgot its name as well. So let's go to startup. Yeah, put iHost environment. So inject this object here. Host Iron. Okay, let's install this package. That's great. And here use iHost environment. Okay, that's great. And I think from this environment, we can say that the temp URL is equals to, let's concat the environment dot, we have the application name, the content root path, the environment name, and don't we have the URL of the app? Okay, I think iWeb hosting. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I just forget about that. So, okay. I need to check this on the Stack Overflow. Sorry for that, but for the time being, I should just basically put it here as it is, like HTTP. I'm gonna bring it from here. Okay, like that. And I'll type thumb URL, and let's add check or add a to-do comment, and I will type here get the URL of the running API and replace the hard-coded one. So I have this note here in the tasks list, just not to forget about that. So I have manipulated the response, which is basically this one, because as you know, the client just send the thumb file, but this one will be empty and the ID will be empty. And right now we have filled those data and we have submitted that to the server. Everything just working great. We need to implement the endpoint. Okay, let's remove this. And I think we're ready to test that. So I will go back to the controllers, and from this controller, I'm gonna click on add controller. Let's go ahead and choose MVC controller. Okay, that's great. I'll choose API controller. Let's call it videos. And I'll click add. That's nice. Now, let's say private, read only, iVideos, service. This is the most interesting part of building a project. When you build everything's right, and you know that all the services is offered to you in that straightforward manner. So you just go ahead, inject, call the functions, and that's it. You don't have any extra job to do. So it's going to be HTTP post, create, public async task, my action result, create video. So here's going to be a video detail model. But there is a very, very important note here. You cannot get the file out from the body of or from the JSON body. So this file should be submit, but the type of the body that should be an encoded form. So to do that, you should type here from form, just like this. So make sure that not to forget this one, because it's pretty important, especially when you have files or iForm file. And as usual, await video service dot create async. Let's add the model, and let's type here if result dot success return OK with the result, or return bad request with the result. So that's it. It looks pretty simple. Right now, let's run this project and to see if this one will work perfectly. Okay, I'll go to this one here, and I'm gonna duplicate this tab. Let's make it post, and let's change the URL to videos/create. This is the authorization header. I think it's valid because it's gonna expire after a month. And from this here, make sure to choose forum data and not to choose raw JSON as usual. You should choose forum data because there is a file this time. And that's very important. So to do this, here the form is just like the JSON file. You just set the property and its value. So I'm gonna set title equals .NET Labs part 1 description, developing full app from A to Z, and we have publishing date. Okay, let's see how we can set the date here. I think 1 6 2020 8:55, like that. And what other properties do we have? I should go to the video service and the check. So yeah, we need to set the category. The category, because it's an enum, so we need to set the value. We have the category. It's an integer, a number, and I have the privacy. Set it to 1. Let's go ahead and check what are those values. Okay. So yeah, this one, the category education, and the video privacy one is public, so that's nice. Now we have title, video URL. Yeah, that's pretty important. So let's go ahead and catch any video from AK Academy here. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and take this one. Okay, take this, and I'll type here video URL. It will be this one. And then we need, yeah, here if you select something else and if you hover the mouse over the key, you see here there is a drop down called text. So let's click on this one and choose file, and let's call it thumb file. The names here should be equal exactly to the DTO object, and then I will click on select files. So I need the picture. So basically, let's choose a small picture from this. I will right click here and click on save image. Okay, this image looks like, okay, so let's Google for some images. Okay, wow, this is interesting. Let's take this one just as a test. Save to the desktop. Okay, now I will go to the desktop. I will choose this image. So I think everything's ready here. Let's just go ahead and put a breakpoint here and follow up the process because it's just a little bit long. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on send. Let's see if we will receive this request. Okay, that's nice. Here we go. Let's check the model and see what we have. Okay, we have the category, it's education. The description is null. Okay, maybe I mistyped the description. Like, the privacy is public. We have the publishing date. Oh, tags is null. Here is the file. Here is the title, and here is the video URL. So I want to ignore this request. So what I'm gonna do, I'll just take this one to here and click continue to solve the issues I have. Yeah, what's wrong with description? Copy this. Okay, we have the publishing date, we have the category, privacy, video URL, thumb, the title, and yeah, what else? Yeah, we forget about the tags. So let's add 2 tags. Write a list of tags because it's a list. What you can do is basically just type, for example, .NET learning. Sorry, you can add the same tag again, and let's call this one Microsoft tags laser. So here I have 3 tags. Right now, let's click again on send, and let's see what we have. Okay, here we go. We have the category, we have the description, the ID, likes, and the tags. As you can see here, we have a list of 3 tags. So if you open up this one, you will see .NET, Microsoft, and Blazor. So that's great. We have the file. Now let's go ahead by clicking F11. Similar videos. Try to see if there is any similar video, and of course no, because this is our first video. Okay. Another one had the same title. Oh, we got the error, but maybe let's go back to iVideo service. Oh, there are no other videos. What gave us this error? So click on create. Oh, sorry for that. I forgot to put the await keyword here. So yeah, it's returning this as a task and it's not null. So this is why it's showing this error. So yeah, I'm gonna put it here again. Okay, let's just click send again. So continue. Yeah, now it returns null. That works nice. Let's check the thumb file. It's not null. So yeah, now the uploading of the file process will start. Let's go ahead. So as you can see, this is the full directory that we get. Let's check the extension. It is .jpg. It should be fine. Okay, it passed the extension check. Now let's check the new file name. Here it is. Yeah, it's random, but to make sure that 100% always the file has a unique name. And then if you click on this one, the file should be moved. And if we check here, we see that thumb URL is upload / this one. And wow, that's amazing. If we go to the Solution Explorer, if we open up www root, uploads, and as you can see, oh, look at that. Our cool thumbnail is existing here. So everything is just working very fine and as expected. Let's complete. Okay, here we are creating the new video. So the user record, just getting this one, the ID, those. Okay, great. Now it's transforming the string tags into tags object. Okay, that's nice. Now let's check what we have. Videos, tags, and you can see I have 3 tags with all the properties, and we can proceed right now. I think the video has been added. Save it changes. So right now we will set the video ID, the thumb file to null, the full URL, and here we go. So, oh, look at that. We have this nice object as return. So the video has been uploaded. This is the ID, the title, the video URL, and this is the thumb URL. And basically, if we copy that, if we go here, open a new tab, we paste this, hit enter, and here we go. This is the image. Everything just working 100%. Let's go to SQL Server, open the databases, choose this one, and let's query, select star from videos. 35. So you will see the videos here, and let's check select star from tags. And here we go. We have the tags existing here. So this is basically, I think, the most advanced topic in this session. Like it's a very complicated, complete process, or it's not that complicated. You have validation, you have upload files, you have nested objects, and as you can see, the code is very clean, very clear, easy to read. The validation, it's separated. Services, dependency injection, we try to leverage all the power that we have to make the code better. We still have this issue, little thing here, to fetch the URL of the from the like the host that basically runs the API, and that's it. So this is the create, the edit going to be the same. We will copy that. So we still have just to implement get all the videos. It will be very, very similar to the playlists, and then we will have, so the upcoming session we will work on get all the videos, edit and remove, and then we will start implementing like small APIs. I think just one session, like add a comment, remove a comment, and managing the let's say adding likes. Yeah, just adding like and increase the number of views. When you get the video, get a video by ID or get single video, and this is the full process. Then we will be done from the API. We will start move to the client. And if you want, as a homework, you can start implementing the comment section. You can fork the object from or the repository from my GitHub account, put it on yours, and then try working on the comments. Maybe you can contact me via Twitter, so you can proceed together with that. If you would like to make something from your own in this project, it's going to be very good idea and practice for you. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you have any question, like you can feel free to put it in the comments section before we end the session. No question, guys? So meanwhile, while you are preparing your questions, if there is any, I'm gonna push the changes that we have done and to the GitHub. So get, sorry, we have this cool one here. Let's click on commit or stash. Okay, now I'm gonna push. So that's great. Now you have all the changes on GitHub. You can basically just go ahead to github.com/software98/.NET Labs. So yeah, this is the repository. As you can see, you have the latest changes. If you would like to start working on comments and try to practice what you have learned in this course, it's going to be a very good idea before we get started with that. So no questions? Okay, so yeah, here we have a question. Is it safe to use storage for www root for a real project? Okay, this is a very good question. Basically, this one is based on the type of the data and the amount of the data that you are storing. For example, if you have a project and just like small amount of files, and they are small files, not that crucial. So yeah, it's good to have them here. But when you have a good amount of files and the size is different, so the best approach, at least from my own perspective, is to go ahead and put those files on the Azure Blob Storage. So this is the most advanced way. You have, it's very high performance, very safe, and you can store up to 100 terabytes of data. This is the best approach. But and for our demo and for some cases, yeah, it's fine to have the files here. Like if you have a system with a, let's say, 100 of users or a few thousand of users, so, and you need to store the profile picture of each user. So yeah, it's fine to put them in the www root. But if you have a system like a business app and there is a lot of pictures, files, documents, and attachments, no, I don't recommend to put them here because of the space, because of the security, because implementing security for those files, it's easy, but of course you cannot compare it with Azure Blob Storage, for example. So this is why you can consider Blob Storage for business needs or personal apps, but with a massive scale. But such a demo and small apps, yeah, it's a good idea to put them in the www root. Any other questions? Yeah, exactly. In the tickets basket, we will put all the files and the attachment in the on the Azure Blob Storage, and they are going to be, some of the files are going to be secure. So yeah, in the tickets basket, we will go to simulate the 100% real business scenario. So yes, but basically the point of using them, it's going to be the same, and the upload code is also will be very similar. It's not going to be that complicated, because like if you go to implementation, yeah, we have all those steps. They are just going to be the same, but here instead of copy to async, we are going to create a blob client and just upload that stream to the blob, and that's it. So most of the parts are going to be the same, but for the secure files, we are going to have some tokens and shared access signature and this stuff. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And that example just covers the 100% real business needs. Okay, so that's great. I hope you enjoyed this session, guys, and you get all the benefits out of what we have done and what we have implemented. I think that was somehow rich in a way or another. So I will gonna meet you in the upcoming Saturday for the hopefully the final session, or no, I think we still need another one for the API before we deploy it and move back to the Blazor. The Blazor part is going to be very interesting. So thank you so much for joining and following up all this hour and 15 minutes. And yeah, again, I hope you got all the benefits. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you on Saturday.